UiPath Test Suite fundamentals, the transparency and control layer. When we are using GenAI or any LLM model, what happened? The questions are coming or questions are always there. How trustful is this? So we'll talk here how UiPath is securing our data privacy informations as well as um, uh, secured layer which is created for test automations. How it works, where we can use this test suite for the developer, and where this is also involved with the autopilot. So we'll see here in detail. So about me, I'm associated with the Foundless Group as a test automations practice lead and SAP lead, handling 4 years UiPath MVP title, founder of Raigurkul YouTube channel, and having 16 years of industry experience, which is in multiple domains like IPTV, media, retail, banking, and finance. Now, when we are starting with AI, so normally it's reactive assistance to autonomous guide. When we are planning for any AI related stuff or AI powered testing, AI reactively executes human tester leads, where based on the commands, based on the prompt, or based on the input from the users, AI will react and provide the final solutions. Collaborator means together human and AI will work together and give out the prominent solutions. That solutions could be utilized throughout the testings or implementations phases. In terms of autonomous guides, AI-driven testings is making our life easier, taking out to find its fastest testing approach. And when we are using this Gen AI model, this is always helping us to achieve our goal faster. Now, how trust and transparency controls were responsible for the AI. If you can see the middle layer, so UiPath AI trust layer is having a combinations of approaches. It's not just only working for the LLM gateway. This is also securing along with the governance model. There will be usage auditing and PI2 and sensitive data filtering. It's not just randomly passing the informations when we are feeding it. It's always protecting. And if you recall the previous sketches when UiPath launched that time, they have used the structure of MD5 encryption method or AES encryption method. So these are the encryption technologies which is used. If I will give you some insight about the AES encryption method, this is just used in the US Army, which is very much secure and none of other applications are using. Along with AES, UiPath is also using MD5. MD5 is another encryption approach. When we are dealing with the data, when we are dealing with the informations, it's always mandate to encrypt the informations before sending. It means before transferring from one system to the other system, because LLM is definitely a third party applications. So whichever data is going out from the UiPath is encrypted, and those who are having access of those data, they can decrypt it, and based on the decryptions, this can be converted into the out format, again sent out to the UiPath. So governance policies are always placed. If you are using on the regular basis, there is the audit technologies are there, and all the sensitive informations are structured. So whenever customer is requesting for any informations with UiPath, UiPath taking help of the LLM models, and they're getting the response from these LLM models in very secure way. So we are not just talking about the PPT. I will also show you within the demo how we can use this model to make our test automations approach easier. Now, how tests should boost efficiency through AI or ML testing bots. So, majorly Autopilot comes in the picture here, where it is available for the developer, tester, technical tester, business tester, as well as AI or ML bots. How we can achieve this? When we are working into the studio, the coded automation frameworks are there. So if you have set of statements and you want to convert to the code, you can easily do it. There's no time lag between it. And if you're working within this framework, UiPath Studio is converting all your requests into the code. If you're just passing a simple statement as a part of test cases, right clicking on that, you can convert those test statement into the code. As a part of technical testers, you can also generate workflows. So here, with the help of autopilots, you can also generate the workflow, which is upcoming. Coded automation is already public for the user. In terms of task capture is again you put tools to accelerate or test automations where autopilot plays an important role. When we are working into the test managers are helping us to generate the test cases, generate the insights, as well as we can see all those insights in detail. Now, how it's work in the test manager. So test manager is not just helping with the test cases. We'll go one by one, see how it works. So generative AI powered automations are helping us directly generate the test cases with the human inputs. Let's consider you wanted to generate the test cases of login page, right? So for login page, generally based on your input or based on the page, let's consider you have just username and password and then one button for login. So there are three form factors are available. For those three form factors, definitely it will be a 10-10 test cases. All 10 test cases are not positive. It's a combination of positive and negative test cases. If a manual user who is generating this test cases, they will definitely consider some time or they will definitely take some time to create these test cases manually. And this is a repetitive task, so it's very painful for the users who is creating test cases manually. Now, if you can see this image, here there's a human being who is inserting the input as a part of requirements. Test manager is the interface sending this input into the LLM and based on the actions, confirm proposal or proposed test cases, it will send out to the human user. Now, here actions confirm proposal, it means first it will generate a set of test cases and then provide the control to the end user or to the users who are willing to generate these test cases. And based on the confirmations, this will send out these test cases to the same requirement box. It means if we got 12 or 13 test cases and end users just wanted to accept just 10 out of 13, they just wanted to accept 10. So all test cases will be added within the same repository or same documents. So that's how it works into the test managers for generation of these test cases. Now, when we are talking about the studio, test case automations, post generation of these test cases, if any users want to convert into the code or workflow, they will be easily able to do it. They have to just right click on those test cases and convert those test cases into code form and C# code will be generated in our UiPath Studio. They can also generate workflow. If anyone don't like these codes, they can generate the workflow directly rather than generating the code. So it's read write method which is generated within the UiPath Studio. Now, how it works in terms of test data generations. Test data is very painful pointers when we are working into the enterprise applications like Salesforce, SAP, ServiceNow, these type of applications are having a relations model. When you are generating test data of this, for let's consider for 100 records, it will consider a lot of time for any SME to just generate the test data. So what UiPath is proposing, UiPath has created one framework where data can be generated within the application itself. So based on the user input, it will analyze and generate the synthetic data and post human user confirmations. This data either fed it into the queue or provide this data into the Excel file, or even we can use as a data services. So these four methods, we can use it for accepting this data. I'm just playing this video. This one I will show you in code itself, so don't worry. So this is the test data generation part. Let me show you, and then we'll jump into the UiPath Test Manager to explain how we can generate the test cases and see the insights. Now, the user is selecting the data services schema, LLM synthetic creations, and here we are uploading the file. This file is based on the input. LLM services we are using as Azure OpenAI, but it's totally up to you in which LLM model you want to use it. And within a fraction of seconds, you can see 300 records of data are generated. How this is taking into the place whenever we are uploading any informations. I'll just stop it here. Whenever we are uploading any input, these inputs are actually a prompt message, the user plain English language text, like generate the test data for first name, last name, email ID, and employee ID. So it will take out all these column names, and all the combinations or permutations combinations are generated. Post that, if you can see here, we move into the data services and we are uploading this generated test data successfully into our data services. Similar way, we can also create a to test data queue, which can be utilized at the time of executions. Do you have any questions so far, or shall I move further? I think you have the options. Either you can text in the chat or you can unmute yourself and ask the questions. So here you can also generate the interface, like which all headers you want, and based on these headers, the data will be generated successfully. Yeah, this is upcoming features into the UiPath. So if you wanted to generate the test data, this is going to be an interface. It's still into the beta versions, but soon you can see this applications is available. So either they will add as a part of templates into the UiPath Studio or into the test managers, or they will give you a separate link to generate this test data. So I answered your questions in the such deep. Sorry. Now, here, let me jump into the demo, then I will explain the other parts. So this is my test manager. I've already created one project. Inside the requirements, you can see I am having a multiple requirements. I will select any of those requirements, and here, if you have autopilot enabled, you can just see these two options. First, or some documentations. So these are the input file. Based on your input file, these test cases will be generated successfully. Now here, if you can see, this is a requirement 13. I wanted to generate the test cases. You can see I'm having these two files available. One is flowcharts and another is discount order instructions. If I will open this, this is the input file. The more clear information you will provide, the more relevance, you will find the test cases to be generated. Second options, if you want, you can see this image as well. This is the flowchart. Based on this data, you can see the test cases are generated. Generate the test cases, and here you will get a prompt message. Which type of test cases you wanted to be generated? Boundary value testing, illicit issue detections, end-to-end flow verifications, or valid E2E scenario testing. Let's consider I'm selecting this like valid end-to-end scenario testing test cases I want to. Then click on create the test cases. It will take some time to generate these test cases, and based on that or based on your input, these test cases are available in front of us. Now you can see these test cases are generated successfully because I wanted to verify end to end. Okay, now as a user, this UiPath is providing us the privilege to select or see all those test cases. If you want to just reject any one of them, you can reject it. So here you can see all the test cases are generated along with the descriptions. You can see stepwise, just expand it, and based on this informations, if you feel some test cases are not relevant for your projects, you can skip any of those test cases and add the rest of them into your projects. At any point of time, if you feel the test cases are not up to the mark, you can generate again. It will again use OpenAI models and generate set of test cases. Now here, let's consider I've selected out of 10, I've just selected 9 and added all those test cases into my bucket. You can see all the test cases are added successfully into this requirement. You see this? All the test cases are added successfully. Next, if you want to evaluate the quality of these test cases, you can also do the quality check. These quality checks are based on the multifacets audit, performance evaluations, or security assessment. Here, whenever you will select those input files, you can just do quality evaluations of these test cases and you will have the quality evaluations report generated. That's how you can generate the test cases. You can add within the projects or whenever you want, you can regenerate the test cases. Here you can see these are the quality evaluations. If you want, you can even add into your requirements, right? So this is how we can generate. If you want to export into the Word format, so you can also export these generated test cases into the Word. So it's very easy to generate the test cases, add within our requirements, and whenever we want, we can automate those codes. Now in Studio, I don't have that license available with me because I'm using the enterprise versions. So I will show you how we can do the coding or how we can convert these test cases into the code form. Now, Now, here you can see if you have all the test cases are generated and you can see all the cases into your studio. If you want to convert this into C# code, you have to just right click on any of the options and then convert this into code. Now here you can see this. If within this video, you have to just right click on this and you will get options to convert either into the code or into the workflow form. Now, next, when I move further, you can convert anything into the code form and post that you are ready to have this coded automations inside your project. Whenever you are done, just let me go to the test manager. Here we have test results. Let's consider we started executing all those test cases and somehow we are unable to find it out the track record, how we can use these test cases and how much quality value evaluations we have within our projects. In that scenario, we can always navigate it to this piece, generate insights, and you can just select from last 7 days or last 30 days. Accordingly, you can generate the insights. These insights are giving you a privilege to see what type of results you are getting into the regular basis. And here it will take some time to generate it. Because you have seen from last 30 days, I am generating here. Till the time it will generate this insight, let me open my previous insights, which was generated. Here you can see the test results. This is purely based on the executions. Let's consider we have 100 test cases and we are executing on the regular basis. Consider we found 10% of the failure in every execution. In that case, the 10% failure will be highlighted in this insight report. And what is the main reason of these failures? That could be also highlighted here. So overall failure rate across the test cases execution was found 19.64%, which was too high. And that is not going to be accepted in any of the industries or in any of those companies. What was the severity of these failures? So you can see high severity errors are encountered, which is 18%, which is again too high. So according to this insights, even test automations person can update their test cases and improve the or make the enhanced test case repository. Sorry. Now here you can see medium severity errors encountered as 64%, which is 7 test cases got fails out of last 30 days. 30 days. Low severity 18%, which is 2 of them got an error. So these errors can be in different verticals. Like if we are having our applications related issues, then also this is going to be added here. So we have to see the formats here. What type of errors we are getting or what type of failures we are getting. All those are, this is the overview, but type of failures are calculated in this sections. What type of errors we are getting, common errors, error patterns, or recommendations. Now, if you can see which is the most failures from which requirements, you can see the UWA7 or UWF46. So accordingly, you can leverage this features to ask your team members to update those test cases. Type of top failing test cases are these three, and common errors are suicide, freezing, or crashing post submissions. It means these errors are not relevant with the automations or not relevant with the test automations. Either we can handle it through try catch block or we can call up some message like this test case is failing because of application issues. This is not a general test automations issues. This is majorly related to the applications. Button is not responsive. Again, this is application related issues. It means the system which we are automating it or doing the test automations, those are erring. Next is delay appearance of success message is the most common error occurring 54%. So if you analyze all those factors or insight, you will get to know what type of issues we are getting. Let's consider one example. If we are working into the SAP applications and those SAP applications are got updated. Yeah. So those applications are from the procurements, from the finance and other verticals. If somewhere we found there is some error, handling those errors are difficult. So these are giving us the forecast or these are just giving us the detailed insight to track the failure rates, to track the responses which is generated through SAP applications. When it comes to the recommendations, so these are the recommendations from test manager. So these recommendations you can see read appearance of success method optimizing the code for message display. That's what I suggested. If you can handle into the track as well or throw out some message, this is just because of the applications. Address non-responsive, again, this is button event handling. Next is site tracing information. So this insight is actually giving us the detailed insight about the execution result. If you want, even you can download it into the Word format, which you can share with your superiors. So those who don't have the test manager access, you can share this insights with your superiors. Generally, for creating this insight reports, it will consume a lot of time and effort by the tester. So it's always recommended to assign this task to the applications or test managers. The test manager can generate all those things. So these all are the capabilities of the Gen AI, which is included as a part of Autopilot in Test Manager and Test Suite. Here, if you can see, in the coding frameworks, they also included the workflow as well as code frameworks. Workflow is not at public, but coded automations are public for the user. But when we are using the community versions, you'll be able to find it out. These versions are available in front of you. But if you are using enterprise versions, definitely you won't be able to access it. Or if you are using the latest version, then it's fine. You can use it. Now,
There are a couple of questions, I think, on the chat.
yeah, I will take it just 5 more minutes. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Now, if you can see this part I've covered in the video itself, I've clicked on the code, convert this into the coded test cases, and go to the next. This is the statement. This is a general statement. Next, you can generate code for next three statements, and this will generate the code for you. It will take just fraction of seconds based on the input, based on the information. These code will be generated. Now that's it. Let me take your questions. Okay, for the community user, it's already enabled. For the coded and this test case generations is already there. So you don't have to worry about it. So, but in terms of workflow, it's not yet available, so you can use it. Fine. I think I've covered these questions. Do you have any other questions from anyone? I can see just one question, Vishal.
Okay. think Sandhya had the question. You answered that, right? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Deepak. Then. Sandhya, you
Yeah,
have any other
let's.
question?
Yeah, Deepak, thank you for the presentation. I just want to understand the manual test cases which you converted into the coded one in Studio. I want in
Yeah.
VB. I don't want in C sharp. So how to
Okay, that's the restrictions. As of now, UiPath has come up with this coded automations just with the C# code.
Mhm.
There's a no other way, there's no other coding language, but soon you can expect this could be added with multiple programming language.
Okay.
Any other questions for anyone?
So, Deepak, like let's say suppose I'm using a BDD model, BDD
Mm,
framework for the test case. So in the when section, I'm already having a workflow. Now I have to
yes.
write the given and the then section. So
Yeah.
in this case, how the autopilot will help me to generate the test case for the given and then section.
So see, these test cases will be generated automatically into the test manager. Once these test cases are generated, you can see it's there into the studio. Once you have the connections between the studio and test manager both. So once it is generated in the test managers, these test cases are available automatically there. If you will open one by one in the text explorer panel, normally if I will share my screen here, you can see these test cases are listed. See this in the left panel. So
Mm-hmm.
accordingly, once you select it, given in if you have already defined your like given structure and when and then structure is still pending, you can utilize it. So as of now, this image was the older one. In the recent release, they have added workflow as well. So if you don't want to use any coding, you can always generate the workflow as well. So it's not just limited with the code, it's also you can generate the workflow. It means it will generate the activities, not the code. So both way it's possible.
Okay, so activity section it's still not yet released. I mean.
Yeah, it's not yet released, but code section is released now. Within 1 or 2 months, you can expect this activity sections are also available for the public.
Okay, okay, cool. I
Yeah.
have one more question. I hope
Yes,
you have
please.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, fine.
So, recently, my organization started for doing this testing activities. So their bot is already into the production, but their bot is failing, and they wanted to create the test scenarios to check whenever the bot is failing. So my question here is, once I write my test cases, then again, do I need to deploy the another bot to test the first bot? I mean,
If you
how it
want, you
can?
can do it. See, it's totally up to you. If you want to verify those or monitor it manually, you can use it for the manual. But if you wanted to use it for the some automations where whenever the failure happens, either you
Mhm.
can add the text message where it will get notified to you the failure is there's a failure or the bot is not running. Or if you want to just verify with the help of automation, that also can be possible. You can use it, but for that you have to build the another code.
Yeah, so we have to again deploy the process to check
Yes,
uh,
for
whether
verifications. Yeah,
is this like free standards? I mean, they are doing. I found.
yeah, that's
Uh,
that's that's fine. See, it, normally it's not suggested to do any changes in the production environment, because see, if something breaks it might impact to the complete organizations. So better to test all those things into the development or in pre-productions. If everything works fine, then you can move into the production. That's how we are following the approach, right? Because that's a crucial part. Production environment is crucial. If something goes wrong in the productions, we are the responsible. So better to verify all those things in the pre-productions and then move into the productions environment. But yes, some of the companies are doing the same approach which you mentioned.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sandhya, for the questions. Are there any other questions? If not, Deepak, we can start the Menti, but I'm not sure. Uh, I can start and then maybe you can let me know if it is working.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. So I'll put the link.
Then you can share. Yeah.
Okay, sure. I'll put the link here. Maybe Deepak, you can also try to connect. So when I do present, is it working?
Yeah, this is the code. Wait for other participants to
Oh,
join.
okay. Okay, okay, right. Sorry.
Now you are the expert.
I'm seeing only four players. We have how many people? I think some
Total we
people
have
have.
eight. Yeah.
One
Now
I
we
was
have eight.
testing. So, okay, we have.
Yeah. Yeah, you can start now. I think maximum got.
Okay, what is the primary purpose of UiPath Test Manager? Now you should have the options. Okay, the correct answer is highlighted: managing and orchestrating test automation projects. It's not for writing code for test automation. Okay, let's see. Now we'll go to the next question. Which feature of generative AI is the most useful in the context of test automation? These are the options. We have 15 seconds. Okay, the correct answer is generating large amounts of test data. Writing robot process automation scripts and the others are not correct. Only one person I think had it right. One person had it wrong. Okay. Next question. How does Test Manager integrate with UiPath Studio? Through cloud-based file sharing, by manually copying test scripts, via built-in connectors and orchestrator, or using email attachments. Okay, three people I think got it right. It is the correct answer is via built-in connectors and orchestrator. Next, what is the one way generative AI can improve test coverage in Test Manager? by generating random scripts, by writing scripts autonomously, by analyzing historical data and suggesting test scenarios, or by monitoring production robot activity. Okay, the correct answer is the third option, by analyzing historical data and suggesting test scenarios. Okay, let's go to the next question, which is the following is not a feature of test manager. Test case management, automated code review, reporting and analytics, and execution of test cases. Okay, it's not a feature, so this one should be the correct one. Automated code review is not a feature of test manager. 1% got it right, 3 got it wrong, I think. Okay, generative AI can assist in which of the following tasks related to the test manager? Optimizing deployment pipelines, providing real-time performance metrics, automating test case generation, or controlling robot queues. Okay, I think automating test case generation. I think all of them, everyone got it right. I think. Moving to the next question. In Test Manager, what is used to centralize test execution results? A shared spreadsheet, orchestrator, email notifications, or manual logs? Okay, correct. Orchestrator is the correct answer. I think 4 people got it right. Moving to the next question. 8. Test Manager, what is used to? I think I got this twice. I think. So let's get this. We move to the next question. Okay, which type of AI model is more commonly used for test generation? Image recognition models, NLP, generative models, or classification models? Okay, generative models. Yes, that's the correct answer. And last question now, and we'll see who got the maximum points. I did twice, I think. Yeah, now I should. I think I should get it. Okay, how does generative AI support non-technical users in test management? By generating test reports, by creating UI components, by simplifying the creation of test scenarios through AI suggestions, or by configuring robots for execution. Okay, the correct answer was the third one, by simplifying the creation of test scenarios through AI suggestions. Okay, so let's see who got maximum points. Okay, Samir is the winner. I'll take a screenshot. So thank you everyone for participating. Uh, Over to you, Deepak. Anything else from your side? Thanks for your session. It was great. Stop sharing.
I'm good. Thanks a lot for joining, and we'll see you in further sessions. So keep rocking, keep learning. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thanks everyone. Have a good day. Bye bye.